So today I'm going to make some espresso mugs, or of a similar size anyway. Got an order. So we'll just have a little go. It's can be quite tricky working with a smaller piece of clay, especially when you're used to working with bigger pieces like I am at the moment. But the principles are all the same, so I'm sure I'll mess up a couple, but we'll get there. So now I'm just flattening out the bottom because these are going to be a similar shape to my normal cups. So they're going to have a flat base and a nice belly. First pull, just to even the wall out a little bit. Go in again. Okay. Now I'm just going to bevel the rim off, so that's all ready. That's all ready to go. I don't need to worry about that. Now there are a few things that I'm sort of figuring out as I go here, which are obviously because it's so much smaller, I can't do everything as I would normally do it. But I'll do my best. By the time I've done, what, like 20? I should have it down. Okay. Now, because I'm going to belly it out quite steeply, what I like to do with this shape is define my foot first, because I like to make a little sort of rounded rim at the bottom, which makes it easier to hold on to when you're dipping in slips and glazes, but it also just gives it a nice finish on the bottom and it matches the form. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little go at bellying now. Okay, I need a bit more water. I think the rim definitely needs to be a lot wider for these ones. And I kind of knew that that would happen, so I left it a little bit heavier because as you widen the rim out, it gets thinner. It stretches. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting the shape right at the moment. I think that should do. The only thing I'll say about this one is I think it's a little small. So I'm not going to take a measurement from it. I'm going to do another test. Because what I'm aiming for is something a bit bigger than espresso, more like double espresso, something like that. But I still need to make sure that I get the shape right. And then I've got a nice little template for the rest that I do, even if I make them a little bit bigger, which I think I will. I'm going to wire it off. palms of my hands off. And pop it on the board. So I've made up 8 of these balls. Each of them is 5 ounces. I may end up having to go for a larger amount, but we'll just have to see how we go. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just coning the clay up and down, and that just kind of turns it inside out and mixes it so it's a nice even consistency. It's all going in the same direction. It makes it so much easier to throw. Again, I'm doing exactly the same as I did before, making my base, making sure it's nice and strong and compressed. And I'm going for the wall, evening it out. It's important to make sure you get somewhere with every lift that you do. You should be able to finish the pot in no more than 5 lifts, really. I normally aim for about 3, although once you get a bit better, what you tend to do is shape the pot whilst lifting it at the same time, so it gets a bit complicated there, which I will do a little bit of now. I'm just going to widen it out a bit at the top, so I'm setting that width early on, which I didn't do the last one because I wasn't sure what I would need for that, but this time I think I know. Okay. Now, just tidying that base up, and I'm going to go in and put my little bottom edge on. And I think to a certain extent, putting this little bottom edge on, especially on something small like this, gives it a little bit more weight in the foot, so it's less likely to topple over. Well, that's the idea anyway. So I've just taken the water out the bottom and then got a bit more and put it on the walls of the pot, and now I'll start beveling it out. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Just clean it up a bit, dry it off. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking some of the sort of slurry off the outside of the pot, because when I lift it off, my hands don't want to slip or stick to the pot. They just want to have a nice sort of dry traction, and that will help to make sure that when I lift it over and put it on the board, it won't distort. Okay, I will measure this one though, because I think we're nearly there. Now, that's the amount of liquid that I need to fit into this cup, and I think with shrinkage, which is between 10 and 11% for this clay, it should be about right. Okay, and there we go. 2 down, 6 to go. I hope you enjoyed this video.